Welcome to the JEHOVIH Chronicles with your host, Kosmon.
What do we have here?
A guy has his lips stuck.
What do we have here?
A guy has his lips stuck to the pole.
Put on my black shades because my future is so bright. Roll me up a spliff so I can get right. No worries on today, I took the day off. Jamming on the red star. We'll get there walking or by car. matter how far. Mr. Cloud Kicker, please don't hurt them. False gods, we gonna work them. Them sacred book got to judge them. You bring them, we raise them, have to serve them. Tons from the depths of my being, organic, real, center of the feeling. Goes far beyond the ceiling. We got that good stuff in Kosmon era. I got that good stuff in Kosmon era. We got that good stuff in Kosmon era. You got that good stuff in Kosmon era. It's 420, I feel like I'm about to float. Been to a few nations like a spotted coat. Head on swivel in the spirit, intuitive goal. Our stars can't be replicated, now act like you know. We be jamming on the red star with my friend. I got that good stuff, yeah, in Kosmon era. You got that good stuff in Kosmon era. You got that good stuff, yeah, in Kosmon era. We got that.
Where is the Creator? Why does he not speak? And man inquired of the earth, the rocks, and of all things, Who is this that hath made us? But they answered not. Then man said, The seen are but an illusion, the unseen is the real. And because he could not find the unseen, he was bewildered.
You, child of stardust, looked upon the stones and cried out, Who formed me? Who hears me? But the rocks held no answer. The wind passed you by, and the heavens remained silent. Yet silence is not absence, and hidden does not mean lost. The voice you seek is not in the thunder, but in the still breath between thoughts. JEHOVIH speaks in the longing itself, in the ache that asks the question. It is in your reaching that the Creator is already responding. The unanswered
I've been waking up before the sun, packing dreams in lunchbox love, running on faith and overtime, pouring from an empty cup, bills on the counter, tears in the sink, smiling through everything, every promise I put on hold, every part of me I didn't get to be. I gave my body, I gave my name, gave my nights to survive the days. I don't regret it, no, not a thing, but I've been quiet long enough to breathe. Now the house is still and my heart is loud. I finally hear myself right now. I'm still standing, still soft, still strong, still dancing to my own song. I get my love, I get my all, now I give it back to me, back to you. I'm still standing, no chains on my feet, I don't owe nobody my peace. I'm thankful for the road I've been through, it brought me back to me. I love my babies with my whole soul, built a home out of broken clothes, held it down when nobody saw. I was the backbone, I was the wall. All work, husband, life on repeat, put myself last, yeah, every week. But something shifted in my chest when I chose rest instead of yes. No more shrinking, no more weight, no more asking to take up space. I earned this glow, this calm, this fire. I'm not tired, I'm inspired. I'm not leaving anything behind. I'm just finally walking. I say, still standing, just soft, still soft to my own song. I gave my love, I gave my all, now I give it back to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, no chains on my feet. I don't owe nobody my peace. I'm thankful for the road I've been through. It brought me back to me. Forget it, I'm still standing, I'm still standing to my own song. I gave my love, I gave my all, now I give it back to me. You deserve it, I'm still standing, no chains on my feet. I don't owe nobody my peace. I'm thankful for the road I've been through. It brought me back to me. I survived on faith and fumes. Turn sacrifice into roots. Every scar made room to grow. Every note taught me what I know. I ain't bitter, I ain't mad. I'm the best I ever had. Still got love, still got grace. Just got stronger boundaries in place. I don't chase, I attract. I don't fold, I adapt. I don't disappear. Till I rise, I receive, I trust. I'm still standing, still soft, still strong, still spilling my own song. I gave my love, I gave my all, now I give it back to me. Back to me. I'm still standing, no chains on my feet. I don't owe nobody my peace. I'm thankful for the road I've been through. It brought me back to me. Back to you. Back to you.
For each and every corporeal world, created I a vortex first, and by its rotation and by the places in the firmament whither it traveleth, caused I the vortex to conceive the corporeal world. A great vortex created I for the sun, and within this vortex and subject to it, made I the vortices of many of the corporeal worlds. Think not, oh, think not, think not, oh man, that I created in the sky a barren waste, think not, and void of you. Even as man in the corporeal form is adapted to the corporeal earth, so is he in the spiritual form adapted to my ethereal worlds. Three great estates have I bestowed on man: the corporeal, the atmosphere, and the ethereal. Things that man see, created I with a beginning and an end. But the unseen I made of endless duration. The corporeal man made I belonging to the scene, but the spiritual man made I as one within the unseen and everlasting. As the corporeal man beholdeth corporeal things, so doth the spiritual man follow upward the evaporated corporeal entities of things. As corporeal things are tangible to corporeal world.
Yeah, they can't come in. Yeah, they can't come in. Turning up the light and watch the boys start running. Let me tell you something, we ain't out here doing nothing. I can tell you scared, boy, niggas stop fronting. It was all in the plan.
Love, light, balance, peace to the righteous gods and Nirvanian goddess created gang. Gang is in this thing. Big Kosmon in the cloud kick right back like I left something. Uh-oh. Don't let Kosmon find some time up in this thing. I get to cooking daily. You know what I do, right? But this is Jehovah Chronicles number 314. Right? This is number 314. Shout out to St. Louis. We did the 313 yesterday. That's Detroit. We're doing 314 this morning for St. Louis. You dig what I'm talking about? Shout out to the Lou. You dig what I'm talking about? And this is Cooking with Kosmon and A1. Right? A lot of people don't get to see the work your brother be putting in because I be doing it on other people's channels because I don't have the time to come up here and lay out full documents and source everything all the time. You dig what I'm talking about? So sometimes, you get the message or are able to spread the message by getting into good conversations and then turning around and showing your proofs. And we got into a good conversation a few days ago. Me and the brother A1 and a couple brothers on the show, man. And I thought, what better than to just show it? You dig what I'm saying? So we just gonna get into it. Shout out to the Titans Debate League, my brother A1, and everybody on the panel, man. Shout out to the Creative Gang. Huh? Remember, all good things in the world come from faiths. Shout to those who are standing by the Creator. Bows up to the four horsemen, Malachi Maccabee, Selah Shalom, Daryl Kosmon, and yours truly, Anakwakaiki, the Cloud Kicker. Huh? Without further ado, y'all, let's get into Jehovah Chronicles number 314, Cooking with Kosmonian.
All right. That was a very interesting line of questioning. But when it comes to stuff like that in particular, I would have to restudy up on it to make sure I'm on point. So I'm gonna have to go back and do that if that's how you're gonna set me up to defend that. Because I believe it and I stand on it. But like I said, none of this stuff is my expertise. But I'm real good at studying something real quick and knowing what I'm talking about when I gotta defend it. So.
Well, you think that's interesting? Wait, Cosmon, you ready? With the screenshot, I started it over and everything.
Oh,
my daily dose of OYSP. You might be talking with something.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, it's probably some perspectives and things out there, Mex, that you haven't even grabbed a hold of. This is one of the more interesting ones that I've.
Wait a minute, y'all. I'm tripping. How we gonna start the show off, right? Before we get them shouts out. You dig what I'm talking about? Thumb up the video, share the live, man. Share it to your social media. You dig what I'm talking about? Shout out to Nazarene, the scene Faithers, huh? Yafa is in the house. You dig what I'm talking about? FGK Capone, man. Shout out to the undergrads. You dig what I'm talking about? Keep that music rocking for the Creator. You dig what I'm talking about? Shout out the undergrads, man. Yeah, indeed, Yafa. This is the smartest channel and chat on YouTube by far. If you are here, you already on the path to light. You already on the right road because you already seek it. My baby bro up in here. Honor and Humility STL. Malachi Maccabee, man. Y'all go over there. Sub, like, share. Honor and Humility STL. I got to go back, catch him and the minister Nathaniel. They be cooking up on every Friday. You dig what I'm saying? So I got to go back and catch that one. Now, I wasn't able to see it. But I would definitely go back and watch it and might just share it on the live tonight. Who knows? Right? My brother from another, you dig what I'm talking about? My Detroit brother up in here. Hurricane is up in here. We in the Kosmon era. Yes, indeed, sir. Yeah. Because every time I do that, Capone, man, it do something crazy. You dig what I'm talking about? It do something crazy. knock me off the screen or do something. You dig what I'm saying? But trust me, I'm gonna put it up there. You dig what I'm talking about? Definitely gonna get that out of there. My dog Hurricane up in this thing, man. Angelic Silver Lining. Salute to you, sis. Shout out my sis. You dig what I'm talking about? Another faith is up here in Michigan, man. We might got the most. You know what I mean? Shout out to the rain. You dig what I'm talking about? Shout out to the rain. Got that mod yesterday. You dig what I'm talking about? Shout out my big sister, LaShonda. You know what I'm saying? Tell my dog Joe I said, what up, though? Prentice in the house, man. Shout out my brother Print. You dig what I'm talking about? Let's get it, man. Let's go ahead and get it, man. Just had to get them shouts out real quick. Love, life, balance out there to all y'all, man. Can't start the show without showing love to those who show love to me, man. Hey, let's get to it real quick.
Came across since I came to the community, put together real good, and then the Creator Gang, boy, they I was talking about they make sure they represent it like they're supposed to.
Well, that's a group. That's the name of a group that come together and they got their own philosophy. The Creator Gang.
No, that's
people
tell you about that.
You dig what I'm talking about? We're the sons and daughters of the Creator. You know what I mean? The ones who standing by Him and standing by it in this day and time. You know what I mean? Without worship of any God, Lord, Savior, or anybody born of woman. You dig what I'm talking about? So you're without the sacrifice of anyone or any living thing or bloodshed of anybody. You dig what I'm talking about? So you know, in a sense, we trying to live up to be God's people for real.
All right. Well, look, since you ones that you know you're gonna put me on the chopping block to see if I can hack it or not. See if I can hang. Can I go into some more of just my philosophy on things, just for more context going into it?
You probably would want to save that for the argument.
Man, you took the words out of my mouth. Save it, brother.
I don't.
All right, go ahead. Let him do his thing.
I believe so strongly in what I believe. I want to give people the ammunition they need to go and research what I'm talking about and prove me wrong. All of it. I don't want any. I bet you wasn't thinking I was coming with this. No, I'll give you what I actually believe, and then and then now approach me. I want everybody to come with their ammunition because like I said, I feel like my ideas are so abstract that you just write it off as like, this nigga is just talking. But
and that's why you need to put it together in a viable form, because I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know. That's what I got to pull out Oli.
When you get in that alley, it's like it seems to be no way out of there. It's just minds in front of you with questions. I'm talking about, and they
I don't mind
hard. So if I was you, I would just start getting my ideas together right now, getting it all together, and then put it in a viable form. I understand you probably feel like you got it in your mind. That's how I felt first, but it's always things that you're going to miss. So if I was you, I'd go step by step and get it together.
I don't disagree. That's why I said, if you're going to do that to me, now I got to go and do my research and make sure I got all my, P's and Q's in order and stuff like that. But, yeah, I just, I really do. I like I said, I like how you done what you do, and you got PowerPoints and everything. And if I did that, then I feel like it would be easier to accept when I say things, because you'll already have a foundation of why I believe what I believe, and the full, it'll encompass all of my beliefs, rather than me saying something and then you questioning me, and then me saying something that's where it's like, wait, I thought you believed this.
I thought you said,
be like, well, no, that's what typical people who believe that believe, but I'm not a typical anything. Yeah. So yeah, I do need to put it all into one place so that I could just lead with that, and then people could judge me by a full body of work rather than just a fragment of my ideas.
And believe
that every explanation leads to more questions.
And believe me, being a participant in my own argument alley, I'm telling you, it's just best for you to have it like that. Or they're gonna tell you you're gonna leave.
Now, you know, as the gang, we work as one unit. It ain't no big me, little yous, big yous, little me's. We work as one cohesive unit, right? To praise the Creator. What they don't know is, and nobody really knows, is that we use all and share all our information. The doc that I'm about to show was actually put together by Kosmon. Salute my brother Kosmon. Because I was able to use his document that he put together for all of our use, by the way, to actually have a teaching moment, right? Because this show that we're talking about is on the heels of a guy who had came on to the show previous to this, that I didn't get to watch it, but he came on to the show previously, and right before this, and he had said that consciousness is fundamental. I agree, right? So does Owaspy. So does just about every religious text in the world. One of the very first things that the God says in the book is I am, right? Letting you know that he is conscious and aware that it or he is. So before you can become aware, you must first be what? Conscious, right? And with that, let's just get to cooking. It's some brothers asking questions and questioning and saying our things. So, you know, it gets a little, you know, rocky in the beginning. You know, when that O come out, when that highlight come out, it makes people's drujas or their demonic lower self panic. Like what happens to a roach when you cut the lights on? You know how they panic? The people spiritually do the same thing when we come around with the higher light. It's the same thing, right? The brother gonna try to even tell you that he don't agree with Owaspy before I even read any Owaspy. Watch this. Watch this, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? And I like A1 said, like you got an interesting view on how you put it together, and those are the ideas that we like to get out and test. So if I was you, I'd just put it in viable form.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. He said he's gonna put me in the cage and just open the door to anybody that want to come in. So I know I have to. Like in those situations, I know what it is, so I know I have to.
Just go back when you get a chance, like after you fixing to go to sleep. If I was you, I'd go and find the argument alley on here. They titled argument alleys on the page, and just go look at one and see the sheer brilliance of the ordeal. It's just like a mental exercise. But if you really got an idea you want to get out, you're gonna be under scrutiny and what seems like attack. But it's all
I actually love that, man.
Yeah. So,
I actually love the idea of that. I actually do. And that's why I say, like, I want to give people, look, let me at least say that. I believe that we exist in the biblical hell and all the description of it, because there's no description of hell that we don't have that exists here. Every way that you could describe it, that's hell is described in the Bible and stuff, we have that here, we exist. And so I believe that it's our spirit, which is supposed to be free from bondage, free from matter, that is in hell, because now it's subject to time and nature, right? But outside of time and nature, it's not subject to that, so it could freely, the same way that you dream, and if you the instant you think about something in your dream, if you think about an apple pie, boom, apple pie. It's not restricted to the laws of nature. but our spirit in this realm is restricted to the laws of nature. So our spirit is in hell, and the reason it's in hell is because that's where Adam descended to.
Or not that I'm religious, but I agree with that because in the book it says God cast Satan down to rule hell, but didn't he send him here?
Didn't what?
Didn't he get sent here?
Satan.
Isn't he supposed to be the ruler of this? Yeah. So in that sense, if you're talking biblical, you would actually be on point with the scripture. So
yes,
but I don't even subscribe to those. But I don't subscribe to those concepts of.
But so what sticking to me being on point with what the scripture says. That's why when people say, "Why would God allow all these things to happen?" My thing is that's the product of free will, is that you have free will to do what you want to do, but so does everybody else around you. And that's what hell is. Nobody has an actual mandate. There is no universal mandate that everybody is like, this is how we're all going to make this a paradise. Everybody has their own individual free will, and God allows free will. So I'm taking notes. Is the product of us wanting it to happen, us choosing for it to happen, and God allows it because it's what we are telling the universe. This is what we want collectively. This is what we want. So it gives it to us, and God allows that. He allows us to have what we want based on our own free will. But if we ascend beyond this reality, we ascend beyond hell, and we experience something different. But sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna be in that alley.
Hold up. Yeah, you just made me think about.
I'm loading you up with ammo. I'm loading you up because I'm ready for everything.
Hold on, let A1 talk. What you say?
Yeah, everything you just said kind of applies to Descartes quote. I think therefore I can. I think that was him that said that. But
man, listen,
because like you say, he gives you the ability to have whatever you want. And I remember telling people like, why do y'all want this to be true so bad? Like, y'all want hell to be true so bad. Like,
yeah, but what if?
And it is, because that's where we are. And when you die, just like the Buddha said, you reincarnate, which means you die and go back to hell because of
Kosmon getting there real quick.
Go ahead.
What you got to say, Kosmon?
Or what if it's more simpler than that? What if the the reasons why the ancestors have been telling us, and like the brother is saying, and most people think hell is a place under the earth or right here on the earth, is because the lowest part of the breathable part of the atmosphere down to the earth has always been called Hades, Hada, or hell. What if you're not lying? What if that's literal, that you're in hell already? It's just the breathable part of the atmosphere.
That's what I believe. I believe hell goes, it's entire, all of what we see and down below the ocean and everything like that. We exist in the breathable part of hell to us. But at the end of the day, our spirit isn't supposed to be in bondage to a body. It's in bondage to our body. Our body feels pain. Our body feels suffering. Our body feels sadness. Our body feels these electrical currents that interact with our brain. And because our spirits can't escape our body, our spirits are in hell. And our physical body is in the belly of the beast, is in Hades. And then so people say, oh, if you sin, you're going to go to hell, which is true, because as the Buddhists and other religions say, you just die and you reincarnate back here, which means you die and go to hell again. So the only escape is if you can consciously.
You sure you ain't read the old Waspy, bro?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, but hey, dig this.
I can't wait till he finish. I can't wait till he finish. I was waiting for him to finish.
Watch this. A1. You just brought up Descartes, right? Watch this.
Yes, I did just bring up Descartes. Okay.
Watch this, bro. The science of this is Owaspy, the science of consciousness and mind. Right? Watch this. I am conscious, therefore I am. Watch this. This is my twist on the famous quote spoken by the French mathematician and philosopher René Descartes, which states, I think, therefore I am. Because in order to be a thinking being, we must first be a conscious being. And without consciousness, there is no awareness. And without awareness, there is no perception, which requires the cognitive function called thinking or thought. Thus, I am conscious, therefore I am. Boy, y'all boys don't know how close y'all hitting to the truth. You ain't got to believe that I'm saying it's the truth, but I'm showing you why I'm saying.
I would subscribe to that right there. Like the religion as a whole, I would subscribe to the whole
it ain't no religion.
That's how you say it.
The good part about it is it don't matter if you prescribe to it or not. It's not a religion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Owaspy, the entirety of the Owaspy, I wouldn't subscribe to, but that part right there is something that I said.
How do you know you won't subscribe to it?
How do you know you wouldn't?
And you never read it.
True. That's true. Okay, true. Fair point.
Right.
I'm just saying at this point I don't. Right? Is that fair to say? At this point I don't.
Who cares?
Is it fair to say that because I'm not aware of it, it's not something that I can?
Yeah, I mean, it could be cognitive dissonance. Yeah, I mean,
look at this. I
just don't. You only read that. Like what you read to me, I can subscribe to that. Maybe you'll read the next one. I'll say I subscribe to that. And then if you read the entire thing, I'll be like, yeah, I can subscribe to the whole. Well, all I'm saying is at this point, I don't subscribe to the whole thing because I'm not aware of it.
That's fair to say. That's only due to the
part and that's it's okay, everybody. That
we're just talking about.
It's not even like the universe subscribes to it, whether he subscribes to it or not.
Right? Yeah.
But it's some stuff is a tool for you to better understand this reality and manifest what you want.
Yeah. Like, you can reject it. That I'm not rejecting it, right? Does it sound like I'm rejecting it?
Yeah, that's why.
If you say you don't subscribe to it, that's a rejection.
Yeah, that's why
I can't subscribe to something that I'm not aware of. Like I can't subscribe.
He just made you aware.
Of one, is that the entirety of it? Wait. Was that the entirety? Was that the entirety of the Owaspy?
Does it sound like
all of it?
Two sentences? You think that's the entirety of a religious text?
That's what I'm saying. You said you made me aware. You said you made me aware of it. You said you made me, but I'm like I'm only aware of just exactly what you showed me. That's all I'm aware of. I'm not aware of the whole rest of it.
So without awareness, right? So you agree, without awareness, you actually have no perception, correct?
Correct.
Right. So you
subscribe to it.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
And you agree, right? Hold on 1 second. 1 second, brother.
Yeah.
You agree that for a person to be able to have perception, right, that requires thinking. Okay, so what are you disagreeing with again?
There's nothing that I'm disagreeing with. That's the thing. Like you guys are saying that I'm like, that's what I'm acting like. Do you think that I'm saying that I'm rejecting it? But I'm not rejecting it. It'd be like if I read if I read from the book of Proverbs or something, and it's like,
bro,
it's that something like a man who works hard.
Yet. I haven't read any Owaspy yet.
Yeah, I know. That's
I know. So that's what I'm saying. It'd be like,
okay, but what don't you subscribe to with what he said? What part of what he said don't you subscribe to?
I said I subscribe to what he read.
But you said
now you're saying that after he came back and checked.
I said I could subscribe to what he read. I said I can't subscribe to the whole thing because I don't know the whole thing.
And that's
but the part that he read,
yeah, he didn't
is what
get
I
into
said
a
I
lot.
can't subscribe
We were
to.
going over a Descartes quote, and then he gave one that he remixed. He said I remixed Descartes and came up with my own thing. He didn't get
That's
into
why I
a
was
lot
supposed to
at
say,
all.
Max.
Look, you're not.
Started making
You
your,
guys are.
you
You guys
started
are
making
like
your assumption
jumping.
too quick. Hold on, no, Max. It ain't nobody jumping. It's you that jumped when you said
No.
you didn't even have to. You didn't even have to say that you don't subscribe to nothing until he finished. You could have kept that in your mind. It's just when you said that, it led to this conversation. Whether you agree with this thought or anything, it's just that when you said, "Well, I subscribe to that, but I don't subscribe to anything else." Well, that ain't even a fair point to put out into
It is. You're not trying to hear how. You're not trying to let me explain how it is a fair point to make.
Yeah, because we trying to hear all the speak, but when you put that in
You
there,
agreed with it all, and then said you don't subscribe to it. If you
for no reason,
and you're not trying to let me explain how that makes sense.
I mean, it's oxymoronic.
Because you ain't letting him
You're saying that because you won't let me explain my stance.
Because you ain't but you only saying that you don't subscribe.
Let's let him explain it.
Kosmon explain his stance.
Let's hear him out though. Let's give him a shot. I don't want to be. Maybe I'm missing. Maybe we are missing something.
I'm trying to hurry to get to a waspy.
Okay.
It's like if I picked up the Bible and I read from the Bible from Proverbs, and it says, "He who ignores discipline comes to poverty and shame, but whoever heeds correction is honored." And I say that's from the Bible. You could say, well, yeah, I subscribe to that. I don't know if I subscribe to the whole Bible because I don't know all the rest of what's in it, but that what you just said, yeah, I could subscribe to that.
So now I see where the confusion is. You thought he was reading from Owaski, so you wanted to say you don't subscribe to that. He wasn't reading Owaski. He was reading a remix of the Descartes quote. So there isn't anything to not subscribe to. It's either you agree with the quote or you don't.
Statement was
the
made.
quote didn't come out of any religious text.
Yeah.
It's just a philosophical quote. So that's where the confusion is. What is there to not subscribe to? Because it didn't come out of a religious text. And you just made the comparison of a Proverbs quote in the Bible. You said you can agree with the quote and not subscribe to the Bible. But that quote didn't come from Owaski, so I'm confused. You got to pick a struggle, brother.
Yeah. I think you might have jumped the gun a little bit.
Perception is a motherfucker.
Look, I'll just start off real quick.
I mean, it should happen.
Because
it's easy to get confused when there's multiple people talking. I can hear you, OCK. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, bro.
Yeah, I can hear you. My bad, I was on mute. Yeah, we
just got quiet. Like nobody said
I dropped out.
Can y'all see the screen?
Okay. Well, when you dropped out, I was saying, that there isn't anything to not subscribe to. Either you agree with the quote or you don't. The quote never came from any religious text. It came from the mind of Kosmon.
And so you're correct to say that was the misunderstanding, because I thought that it came from the ayahuasca, because that I heard that and I thought that was from that. And so my statement
notice A1 was actually right. He slid that in there. It did come from the mind of Kosmon. Just not the Kosmon.
Now,
he thought it's the Kosmon era. You dig what I'm talking about? Not Kosmon Cal, not Daryl Kosmon. But yes, it comes out of the mind of the Kosmon era. So the brother was exactly on point. Notice they were even hinting at the truth. I started it off with what they were just hinting at. That I think, therefore I am. You dig what I'm talking about? I am conscious. Therefore I am aware. You dig what I'm talking about? So that's what we was working on, and man, it do get tough, man. Man, y'all got to know your brother is working on himself, man. You got to understand it. Listen, 5 years ago, I'd have lit him on fire and made him shut up so I can get into what I got to do. Cause you wasting time, boy. Huh? We want to get to the fruits and the veggies in the nuts and roots of this thing. You dig what I'm talking about? Without all the mealy mouthing and belief. I'm showing you why I'm saying what I'm saying. Right? So, yeah. The boy A1 was right on point, right? Because he made a factual statement. He didn't know how factual it was. Yeah, it comes out of the mind of Kosmon because I brought it forth to y'all to introduce to y'all mind. But they didn't know it comes out of the mind of Daryl Kosmon, right? But it also comes out of the mind of the Kosmon era, what they like to call nature of the times. Huh? Oh, yeah.
I like that statement. I can subscribe to that statement, but if that's from the ayahuasca, I can't subscribe to the whole thing because I don't know the whole thing. But if it's more like that, then I would likely be subscribed to that to the whole thing. If that came from that, then I'll likely be, and it's more of that in that, I'll likely be subscribed to it. But me not knowing what it is, I can't subscribe to something that I don't even know. But I'm not
exactly. But let's stop saying you don't what you don't subscribe to, because he wasn't giving you anything to subscribe to. He was just giving you a I came up with I dropped a Descartes quote. He said, "I'm glad you did that because I actually remixed it." He didn't bring up.
I subscribe to the quote though. I do. The quote is what I'll subscribe to the quote alone. I will subscribe to that. He did give me something to subscribe to. I like the quote.
I remixed that, as I said right here. Can I get back to
and that's why Oli said the only person jumping is you. You made the jump from that quote to a waspy. And
I told you were right to say that was the mistake. I did think that, but now that you're letting me know that that's not, it's good for me to know that he's not. I would have been this whole time thinking that's what he was reading from, because I'm not familiar.
He hadn't started reading from his book yet. He's about, I think he's about to go over Owaski. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So my apology, but we did need to clear that up, because that I would have been thinking this whole time that that's what he was reading from, and I would have been wrong this whole time.
Well, all you gotta do is
if you just hush up for a little bit, Max, and let him talk, he'll get all the way to.
We all heard.
But if I didn't hush up, that is what I'm saying. I would have been thinking you were reading from that. I wouldn't have made the comment.
Oh, okay. Well, then
you would have seen him go to the next book. You would have seen him go
if
to.
Not, we
he would have said, "Wow, this is a wasp."
What you thought we were doing. So.
Now to clear it up, you caught the fact that I thought that he was reading from something that he wasn't reading.
No, it's
if
cool,
you would have
brother.
caught that immediately, we wouldn't have had this whole segue.
Hey,
You would have been like, "Oh no, bro, that's not even."
Bro. Just to clear it up.
All right,
everybody who's confused, right? Because we done went on this whole diatribe.
Yes, sir.
Right.
The Kosmon drop off.
This is
Oli, you still there?
Can I be heard?
Let me see who in the back. Nobody.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You can't hear Kosmon.
I hear you. Let me leave and come back. I gotta leave.
I hear Kosmon. I'm listening. I hear you, Kos.
Okay, check out the screen. This is my twist. This is my twist on the famous quote spoken by the French mathematician and philosopher René Descartes, which states, "I think, therefore I am." Because, and I say, I am conscious, therefore I am. Because, why I say that is because in order to be a thinking being, we must first be a conscious being. And without consciousness, there is no awareness. And without awareness, there is no perception, which requires the cognitive function called thinking or thought. Thus, I am conscious, therefore I am. This is Owaspy, Book of Inspiration, 1:11-12. It says, "In the way that I made you corporally or physically, so I made you spiritually, intellectually." Note that this verse can be interpreted in two ways, depending on the context. However, both interpretations apply. Interpretation 1 says, the Great Spirit created man or humankind with the capacity for knowledge. Interpretation 2 says that to create man or humankind requires the use of intellect, which would be the Great Spirit's superior understanding. What is intellect? Intellect is discernment, perception, understanding. Right? It says, see intelligence. Intelligence is the highest faculty or ability of the mind, not the brain, y'all, the mind. capacity for comprehending general truths, superior understanding, sagacity, quality of being intelligent. So to comprehend anything, i.e. like general truths, requires conscious, right? Or consciousness, which is consciousness is the state of being aware of what passes in one's own mind. So when we're talking about consciousness, consciousness is the state of being aware of what passes in one's own mind. What is mind? Mind is that which feels, which wills, which thinks. It's the intellect, which goes against what the brother was saying a little earlier when he says it's the body that feels, that wills, that thinks. It's actually the mind, right? Key points. Consciousness in regards to our inner world, right? In ourselves is a phenomenon of the mind. That is a state of being aware of our intellectual abilities, and enables us to apply these abilities practically. See, examples of intellectual abilities are learning, reasoning, critical thinking, creativity, problem solving, comprehension, benevolent behavior, and making healthy choices, etc. Thus, the Great Spirit is a conscious mind that is aware of its intellectual abilities. And in regard to the creation of man, with this intellectual abilities created mankind corporally, spiritually, and with intellect, which requires consciousness. Without conscious phenomenon of the mind, without the conscious phenomenon of the mind, none of these abilities could be comprehended nor be put to use. So, as a product of the presence of the superior conscious mind, which is the Great Spirit, thus I am, all we have to do is go one more verse down for further context, right? This is the book of inspiration where we was just at. And the way that I made you corporally, so I made you spiritually, intellectually. Verse 12 says, as I made your corporeal body out of corporeal or physical material, so out of my light, my radiant energy, my spiritual illumination, which is my very self, I built you up in spirit with consciousness that you are. Light is brightness or radiant energy, that which makes things visible. Light, daylight, or spiritual illumination. So out of my light means that we emerge from within the conscious mind of the Great Spirit. To emerge means to become manifest or to become known, right? So light makes things visible, and to be visible means to be capable of being seen. If we can be seen, then we can be perceived. And if we can be perceived, we can become known, right? So the same way an apple tree emerges from an apple seed, and the way apples emerge or grow out of the tree, containing the seed to grow other apple trees, so did we grow out of the conscious mind of the Great Spirit as members of its person, with conscious minds also, with the seed to create other members with conscious minds. However, that which we emerge from comes to us from that which is outside of us. Right? Book of Inspiration 2:11-12. It says, I am the all external. From me, smaller lights are focalized, says the Creator. Thus, we are those smaller focalized lights. We are those smaller focalized units or members of consciousness. If the Great Spirit is a conscious mind, does this mean that the Great Spirit has a brain? First, we'll need to investigate if the conscious mind is dependent on the brain, right? This is from Integrative Health. How are the mind and brain different, right? A neuroscientist explains, this is from Carolyn Leaf, 21. For many people, the mind and brain are interchangeable. They use one word or the other to talk about the same thing, right? But the organ in our skull that we use to think, right? The organ in our skull that we use to think. However, the mind and brain are actually two very different but interconnected entities. As a neuroscientist, this reality is the foundation of my life's research and work. The mind works through the brain, but is separate from the brain. Key point, number one, mind and brain are two different entities, but are interconnected entities. Mind and consciousness is the unseen entity existing in spirit. Hold on. Let that sink in a second. I'm going to go back and read that again. Mind, right? Or consciousness, right? Is the unseen entity. The thing existing in spirit or its expression. Brain is the seen entity existing in corporeality, right? The mind exists in spirit. The brain exists in physicality and corporeal, right? Oaspi, Book of Jehovah, Book of the Creator, 1 and 5, it says, I am two apparent entities. Nevertheless, I am only one. These entities are the unseen, which is potent, and the seen, the things you can see, which is of itself impotent and called corpore or physicality. Key point number 2, the mind works through the brain, meaning the mind transcends the brain. Oaspi, Book of Jehovah, Book of the Creator, 4 and 3. In all the universe, I have made the unseen. The thing that makes you, that power, right? People don't know that the spirit is still physical, right? It's corporeal still. You dig what I'm talking about? It's just it's a middle way, right? It's a middle ground, like water is between ice and vapor. I hope that made sense.
Yeah, I mean, I heard all of this and everything like that. And, you know, boils down to what I believe is that the consciousness is it comes from the realm of invisible, the unperceivable, and it manifests into the realm of the perceivable.
In all the world, and look what he say. In all the universe, I have made the unseen to rule over the seen. Soon as that thing that you can't see that's inside of you passes away, your body dies. It stopped moving.
That's what I believe. That's what I'm saying. That's why I subscribe to that. And that's what I'm saying. It looks like it says the Ohaspi Book of Jehovah, Jehovah.
Name matters little. Yeah.
It looked like it has a quote from that. And then so like earlier when you were speaking, it looked like the same thing. It looked like it said that
it's okay, bro, man. Let's just keep moving, bro. We ain't gotta. Let's not tread them old paths.
But what I'm saying is, to me, like that's something that I would say. I would say the same thing. I subscribe to that. In all of the universe, I have made the unseen to rule over the seen, and I would say that that's something that that quote. I would subscribe to that because that's what I believe.
Even though you can't see the spirit or the power or the energy that runs a TV, right? You can't see it, but it's the unseen ruling the scene.
Yeah,
You can't run a TV
hydrogen
without
and oxygen and everything. So to me, my thing is to say, I would say that it looks like it's a quote from this Hospi.
It
and
is.
So I would say I subscribe to that quote, but I don't know all the books of this, the Hospi, but I subscribe to that. And then if
that's
you
why
show me
we
more
put it
quotes,
in the doc, brother. That's
it
why
looked
we
like
put it
it
in the
said,
doc. I'm surgical with
it
this.
looked
Jay.
like it's that early. It looked like it had the same exact thing earlier, but a different quote.
Yeah,
And then it sounded like you read the quote, and I looked at the quote, and I said this. I was like, now I don't know what that is. I don't know if I subscribe to I said I don't subscribe to the whole thing, but perhaps I should have said I don't know if I do subscribe. But that quote itself, I subscribe to. And then wasn't you read like 4, maybe like 3, 4 quotes from that, and all of them I agree with. All of them is my understanding of how the universe works. But without that little thing that we had, I wouldn't have known that the rest of it was you putting what you were like how you said, this is my remix on this and this is my understanding. I wouldn't have known that without you explicitly like saying that to me. So
I thought I did. I did explicitly say that. I really did.
And I missed it. I'll say I missed it then. And so at the point where I said that, perhaps I was like distracted by something else that I was my mind was.
Yeah, but let's keep pushing, bro. Well, let's keep pushing, because see, this is the book of the Creator, the book of Yahweh, right?
Because it's actually written on the slide that he provided.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Because I was kind of multitasking, but listening though. But I wasn't trying to disregard anything. Is all.
No,
I'm
it's
trying.
okay,
I wasn't
bro.
trying to disregard, because I agree with what you were saying. But now I know the distinction that you were just building off.
Let me ask you a question.
In that,
do you think truth needs a crutch?
No.
Well, then why are we talking? I'm still telling you.
I'm listening. Yeah, I'm listening to you dropping knowledge. I was just letting you know that, like, I now understand the distinction between you're reading. There's just particular quotes from this book, but not all of what you're reading is from that book. You stated it before you started talking, but I missed it. But I agree with both. I really subscribe to the quotes, and I subscribe with your breakdown of it. I agree with all of it. It's my understanding.
Praise the Creator, man. Look, dig this. Book of the Creator. Listen to the name of it. This is Owaspy. Book of the Creator, Book of Yahweh, Book of Jehovah. Right? 4 and 3, it says, in all the universe, I have made the unseen to rule over the seen. Does not the mind transcend the brain? Remember, what does rule mean? To lead or to rule. Lead means to guide or to cause to go with oneself. Thus, the unseen conscious mind works through the corporeal and causes it to move.
Yes, I believe that.
This is what the article means, right? That we just shared. This is what the article means when they say the mind transcends the brain. Transcendence means to lie beyond the scope of, right? Owaspy, Book of the Creator, 4 and 6. It says things that man sees, the things that man sees, the things he can see. I created with a beginning and an end, Oli. Mr. Time. But the unseen.
Do you think that negates anything?
Endless duration. Huh? Does the mind
still aligns what Oli was talking about? You said it as if it negates any of Oli's philosophy. It doesn't.
Brother, you just don't. Can you just be quiet for a minute?
I'm sorry. I tried so hard. Let me, maybe if I
Right,
press
because
mute, it'll
you
be
just
easy.
off. You just off, brother. You came in hot. You've been off all night. Oli know I wasn't dissing him. Oli knows this doesn't go against what he's saying. This proves
I
what he's saying.
apologize.
In a
I'm gonna mute
sense.
myself and I won't interrupt you again. My apologies.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Does the mind rule over the brain? Huh? The mind uses the brain. And the brain responds to the mind. The mind also changes the brain. People choose their actions. Their brains do not force them to do anything. So, yes, there would be no conscious experience without the brain. But experience cannot be reduced to the brain's actions. Also, this is your spirit cannot be or energy cannot be destroyed or created. Huh? The mind is energy. Right? We just breaking it down. We going into some text. Right? The mind is energy. And it generates enough through thinking, feeling, and choosing. It generates energy, right? The mind is energy, and it generates the energy through thinking, feeling, choosing. Still motion. It's a fact of an act. Something has to happen. You're still, in the end of the day, choosing. It is our aliveness, without which the physical brain and body would be useless. That means we are our mind. And mind in action is how we generate energy in the brain. This is from Mind, Body, Green, right? The key points to take away from that is that the mind and the brain are two different entities. Although the mind is separate from the brain, they are interconnected. And we are our mind. Let that sink in for a second. Y'all hear that knocking at the door? It's a whole sink outside. Let that sink in. Consciousness is a phenomenon of the mind. Huh? And remember, mind is energy, right? What is energy? Energy is the force of expression. A mind in action is a mind in motion. Huh? I wish I had some spiritual thinking men in here. A mind in action is a mind in motion. Motion is expression. And come on, y'all. You know, Kosmon got to bring it on back. Y'all say I'm spooky, but I got to bring it on back. And the expression of an entity is, y'all, what is the expression of an entity? Huh? What is it called? It's called spirit. Huh? Just like the expression of the power in the TV is light. Yeah? The power in the man is light. I know y'all don't believe me, but y'all can look this up. The body produces visible light just at a very low spectrum, right? While it's alive. As soon as you die, the light stops. The expression of any entity is called spirit. This is from Owaspi's glossary, right? Definition for spirit. It says also, spirit means what? The expression of an entity. For example, how one expresses and what is expressed are the result of the state of the spirit. I'm going to read that again. This is the definition of spirit from Owaspi. Spirit means, right? Not some spooky, gooey goblin somewhere. The expression of any entity. To be entity, you got to be alive. To be alive, you got to be conscious. The spirit, which people conflate with angel a lot. They get that mixed up, right? Spirit means the expression of any entity. For example, how one expresses, how it's expressed, are the result of the state of your spirit. So what you saying, how you saying it is a result of you. It's all on you. Ain't no God you got to blame it on. And if you got to blame it on the God, well, you the God. Owaspi revealed that too. So blame it on yourself. Like Owaspi say, save yourself. So we've covered earlier on the presentation that we are products of radiant energy, of the conscious mind of the Great Spirit. Energy is an emission. The emission of energy is expression. Thus, we are all expressions of the Great Spirit. Remember, the Great Spirit said that its light, i.e. spiritual illumination, energy, spirit, mind, is its very self. Does that mean our conscious mind is our very self also? Logical question to ask. This is from Owaspi, Book of Ben, 1:25. S, or spirit, said, I am within your corpora. I am within your body. This is how you dig what I'm talking about. We was talking about that expression on the inside. Well, how, or the body is, or the spirit is trapped. It's not. It's made that way. Right? Like a Russian doll. It's a thing inside of a thing. Spirit said, or S, which is the word for spirit. S said, I am within your corpore or your physicality. I'm within your body. When your corpore molders into dust, behold, I am the S man and the spirit man, your real self. So when your body die and molder, what's left is the real you, the spirit man. I am your spirit, your expression. And like a planted seed, I dwell within your corporeal body. What is the connection between life, right, spirit, and consciousness? Owaspi give out way more answers. You're going to leave out with way more answers, right? Then you even came in with questions. What is the connection between life, spirit, and consciousness? Life, from Etymology Online, is the animated corporeal existence. Spirit, from Etymology Online, life, the animating or vital principle in man and animals. So conscious is the sense of active and awake, endowed with active mental faculties. That's what it means to be conscious. Watch this. Book of Jehovah 5:3. Tell me, oh my creator, right? Where did life come from? These answers come quick, and questions that we've always had. They come quick and fast in Owaspi, right? Tell me, oh my creator, where did life come from? Everybody want to know this. Huh? This unseen thing within me that is conscious of being. Where'd that come from? Watch this. Key points. Consciousness is mind, is energy, is motion, is action, is expression, is spirit, is life. And are not dependent on corpore or physicality to exist. In fact, we've covered that it's corpore, your physical body, that depends on these qualities to give it value, not the other way around. Remember, the article above made a claim that there would be no conscious experience without the brain. How could there be no conscious experience without the brain if jellyfish are conscious animals and have no brain? If what they were saying was true, and see, we put it in the source, but we even attack the source. This is what real scholarship look like, whether you believe it or not, spiritually, right? And it looks like science because it's doing the same thing. It's trying to explain the unseen cause behind the thing we can see. So how could there be no conscious experience without the brain if jellyfish are conscious, right? They are conscious animals, but they have no brain. This is from September 22, 2023. Jellyfish are smarter than you think. The jellyfish are more advanced than once thought. A new study from the University of Copenhagen has demonstrated that the Caribbean box jellyfish can learn at much more complex level than ever imagined, despite having only 1,000 nerve cells and no centralized brain. The brain, jellyfish are more advanced than once thought. A new study from Copenhagen demonstrated that Caribbean jellyfish can learn at a much more complex level than ever imagined, despite only having 1,000 nerve cells and no centralized brains. The finding changes our fundamental understanding of the brain, and could enlighten us about our own mysterious brains. So this is why it makes sense that you how many of us then got a homeboy who got shot in the head, right? Knock a patch out of his whole scalp, but he's still living. He's still rocking and rolling. He's straight for the most part. You dig what I'm saying? Still got a patch missing out of his skull, right? So obviously, whatever was damaged, you dig what I'm talking about, didn't stop life, and it didn't stop him from thinking. So the mind wasn't where that brain part that got destroyed was. So where is memory then? Where is wisdom? Where is love? Where are morals? Are morals kept in your toes? Are they in your elbow? Are they only in your heart? We know for a fact the mind exists and experience exists without the brain, just doesn't exist without the mind. This is from Science UK. To learn means to gain knowledge or understanding of or skill in by study or instruction or experience. That's what it means to learn. Intellect is the power of knowing as distinguished from the power to feel and to will. So the power of knowing is distinguished from the power to feel and the power to will. Intellect is the capacity for knowledge or B, the capacity for rational or intelligent thought, especially when highly developed. Key point. To learn is to acquire knowledge. And to have knowledge means to have intellect. To have intellect means to have a mind. To have a mind is to have consciousness, thus proving that the mind isn't the physical organ called the brain, and that the brain isn't required for consciousness. Let that sink in a second. But let's take it a step further. From the book of the Creator, 5 and 4. The Creator heard the words of man. Remember, he said, ask, where did life come from? The Creator heard the words of man, and he answered him, saying, let a sign be given to man so that he may comprehend Simu. This is the building blocks of DNA. This is the precursor to life and form. And so the Creator caused, listen, jellyfish and the green scum of the water. We was just talking about those. And the green scum of the water to be permanently coming forth in all ages, so that man could understand the age of Simu, or the age of creation, the time of creation. Think like a spring on our planet. Right? Just like we go through 4 seasons in a year, our planet goes through seasons galactically. Our planet goes through seasons solarly and galactically. But there is a time, right, where they're going to explain it, right? So that man could understand the age of creation, or the age of bringing forth of life on the planet, or Simu. Notice Simu kind of looks like semen, right? Remember, this would be the building blocks of life, right? Before a DNA change. This would just be the A, the C, the T, the G. When the earth, so that man could understand the age of creation, or Simu, right? When the earth, which is kind of like galactic semen, because you'll see. Watch this. So that man could understand the age of Simu, when the earth and the shores by the water, and the waters also, were covered over with commingled atmosphere. And corporeal substance. This substance was called Simu, because by his presence, the Creator quickened it. Right? He quickened Simu. There's no life on the planet. Right? This is why everything seems to be connected also. Right? It comes from one substance. Watch this. The Creator quickened it, right? The building blocks of life into life, or into DNA, into life. And in that way, he made all the living, both the vegetable and the animal worlds. Not that Simu is jellyfish or green scum of water, for in this day, the earth does not produce Simu abundantly. Nevertheless, the jellyfish and the green scum of the water are signs of which was in that day of the earth, or in that age, right? So what is an age? Age is a length of existence extending from the beginning to any given time. Key points. The Great Spirit created the jellyfish to be coming forth in all ages, meaning the jellyfish has been here since the very beginning of creation of the animal world, right? This is coming out. Owasby bringing this stuff out 1882, y'all. We ain't know none of this. This jellyfish is Earth's oldest animal, huh? Scientists from UC Berkeley believe that the planet's first animal may have been a jellyfish-like predator, huh? Scientists have made a groundbreaking discovery that points to the identification, the identification of the first animal, a type of jellyfish to have lived on Earth approximately 700 million years ago, according to a recent study published in the Scientific Journal of Nature, right? That's from Wire. Ctenophore, or jellyfish-like organism. This is a modern day discovery, right? So how did Owasby know this about jellyfish? Jellyfish is the oldest living animal in 1881. Notice the article is calling the jellyfish an animal. So if jellyfish is an animal, right, even though it has no brain, but a neural network, would that make the jellyfish a conscious being if animals are conscious? Insects and other animals have consciousness, experts declare. A group of prominent biologists, they say the new declaration signed by biologists and philosophers formally embraced that view. It reads, in part, the empirical evidence indicates at least a realistic possibility of conscious experience in all vertebrates, including all reptiles, amphibians, and fishes, and many invertebrates, including, at minimum, cephalopods, mollusks, decapods, crustaceans, and insects. Inspired by recent research findings that describe complex cognitive behaviors in these and other animals, the document represents a new consensus, and suggests that researchers may have overestimated the degree of neural complexity required for consciousness.
I agree with that.
You go ahead, man. You know what? I'm done. You did what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, I'll probably bring
You gotta be done though. I didn't want you to stop for real. I did want to chime in on that point though.
Go ahead, brother.
I was telling somebody the other day, like, we were talking about religion, honestly, and I was somehow consciousness came up, and I was like, "What, you don't think a dog or a squirrel is conscious?" I'm like, animals have feelings. Animals miss you when you're gone. Like, what is that? I'm like, thank God they can't read because they're safe from these dogmas that have trapped our people. I'm like, or they'd be out here lost in the sauce, suffering from identity crisis, like a lot of the black people that come up here on this stage. And no shots at anybody. Like, that's just how I feel about the situation. I'm not definitely not singling nobody out. But the more that you bring this text out, I'm loving it though. I hope you do more of this. Owasby is in line with a lot of stuff that I already think and believe that other texts aren't bringing out, and that they actually kind of go against a lot. And I'll land my plane with that.
You're going to find out, A1, and I think you already know this. You, the book. You are writing these experiences in your life through the experiences. You the book, you writing them on the soul, right? And that understanding becomes your knowledge. This is why truth don't need no comforter, it don't need no help. And this is why if you got holding on to any amount of truth, and once you hear it, it will always sit well with you. Most of the time we say, dang, I knew that, or yeah, I heard that before. And whatchamacallit told me that. It's something we had already kind of knew, but Owasby is just giving that confirmation. Because it's truth. Right? A truth will always be able to be objectified and proven. Right? Now watch this. The key point that we got to take away from this is that they underestimated the neural complexity required for consciousness. This thing conscious and don't got a brain. Let that sink in. Now, how many of y'all really needed these so-called scientists to tell you that animals and insects are conscious? A1 didn't need it. He's had a dog before. Anybody who's had an animal, you can't tell us or convince us that this animal, first of all, don't got his own personality.
Right.
You can have 2, 3, 4 dogs. They're gonna all be different, even if they come out
the ability to show love. Like even a cow shows love.
Shows love, bro. Huh? A1 didn't need that. Why? A1 used common sense. He used what he could see. He used what was provable. He knows his dog go crazy every time he come home. Happy to see this nigga like he just left for 20 years. That's love, man. That's also
feeling like DMX, man. I miss my dogs, man.
You know? Man, I gotta have some dogs, man. Them the only ones, man, really treat you right, don't lie to you, man. Lay down their life for you, man. It's crazy. You know? Truly man's best friend. But how many of us really did need a scientist to tell you that animals and insects are conscious? Huh? Owaspy, Book of the Creator's Kingdom on Earth. 21:5-8. But I am sufficient to all my creations. The ant hears me. As does the bee. The bird and the spider and all kinds of living things which I created. How do you think they hear me? Learning to do my will. I've heard somebody was telling you the other day, who teaches the bird how to build a nest? Question. How do you think they hear me? Do I go to them with lips and tongue? Or with a trumpet? No. I am spirit. I am the soul of all things. By way of the soul, my voice comes to every living creature that I created. You saying, oh, this cat Kosmon. What is your conscience? It's never in an audible voice, but it resonates deep in your gut so much that you call them feelings gut feelings. Resonates through you, not audible by the ear. You gotta learn to tune in. Owaspy's whole point, it tells you that the only reason the book is here is for you to learn how to hear the voice of the Creator. See his heavens. Literally. Live. Without no dead. No spooky. No drugs. No sleep. No prayer. No meditation. It's a way to do that, y'all. My soul, he said, by the way of the soul, my voice comes to every living creature that I created. You call it a conscience. In times of darkness, men call the voice of the Creator their conscience. Huh? But man locks up his soul and will not hear me. These so-called scientists didn't have enough common sense in their soul to know that living things possess some degree of consciousness, be it simple or complex. Book of Fragapati, Book of Fragapati, 16 and 18. And you created the spider and bade him to speak to me. He said, behold me, O man, I am one with your creator. I move by the spirit of things. I build my house by the geometrical figures of the unseen worlds. Do not think that I reason or take lessons from other spiders. I take no lessons. I move by the spirit within me, what y'all like to call y'all like to call it instinct. No, they're perfect in their order and they move by the spirit within them. That's why they don't do, they do exactly what they're supposed to do and nothing else. I take no lessons, right? This is who taught the spider to build a web. Jaja. It's in them. It's built in. That's why y'all so quick to call it instinct. What do you gain from throwing the creator to the side? What do you gain from not saying things only happen because he is real, reality is real? What do you gain?
When you just said instinct, you made me think of all the words that apply to what's within. Instinct, insight, intuition, intellect, whatever.
Come from inside?
Come from inside. It's in you. You was born with it.
So it's in you, it ain't on you, huh?
It's in me, it ain't on me, baby.
That's right. He says, do not think I reason or take lessons from other spiders. I take no lessons. I move by the spirit, by the expression within me. And it moves in concert with the spirit of things outside, which my brother Oli calls nature. The physical world, right? And how it reacts, its processes are nature. Not necessarily the physical world, but the processes in the world. So this is why I don't shoot everything he say down. If y'all notice, when he talk, I don't say too much. Right? Because I'm able to comprehend even higher than he is, what he's thinking. Because now y'all see why I'm thinking it. I don't have to bash him. I can make his, listen, anything that he got truth in it, I can make it fit mine. That's when you powerful. The spirit within me, right? The expression within me, right? It moves in concert with the spirit of things outside. So remember, the supreme consciousness of the great spirit is the all external. They're trying to say he's in some type of bubble. He can't be outside. He can't be in. He's all of that. All is all. Right? So if he all external, guess what he got to be also? He got to be all internal too. Didn't they tell you about intelligence? Didn't they want to just tell you about intellect? The supreme consciousness of the great spirit is, or the universe is is the all external. There's no outside of the universe. It is from this all external that exists everywhere that we all emerge from. Meaning that our life, spirit, consciousness, mind came from the outside and focalized inward. That's why the spirit's there. The jellyfish, which has a neural network but no brain, proves that the conscious mind is not dependent on a brain. If the all external conscious mind we grew out of exists everywhere, does that mean the universe is a neural network? Why is Owaspi saying this? We just asking the questions that the book is stating. 142, 143, 153 years later, science doubles down on what Owaspi says. This is why I say this is the most amazing book to ever be written in the English language. I ain't saying it's the end all be all, but it's a heck of a read. And I haven't read anything. And listen, if y'all think y'all readers, I am voracious and have been since I was a child. This is amazing. How?
I ain't gonna lie, man. If I had to pick something to follow or believe in, absent of proof, it would be this, man.
The dope part is, Owaspi tell you, you bet not believe none of it. You better try it, test it, put the scientific method on it, put it in the fire, put the pressure on it in real life. Because if it don't bear fruit in real life, if it is fake, it won't be beneficial. But if it's real, it's gonna be beneficial. Apply that part. Owaspi say it ain't immaculate. It's not. It has flaws. It's a book. It can't be the end all be all. It say it's the first fruit. If the all external conscious mind we grew out of, think about this, exists everywhere, does that mean the universe is a neural network? The case for why our universe may be a giant neural network. It's from 2023. Neuroscientist and author Bobby Azarian explores the idea that the universe is a self-organizing system that evolves and learns. So if all is one, right, that would make, right, you part of the creation and creator, a fraction of it, experiencing creation. Wouldn't that be the point of living experience? Right? The concept of a brain-like universe, right, seeded by pre-Socratic philosopher Anaxagoras, is gaining currency. The cosmos looks remarkably similar to the complete wiring diagram of the brain, and non-local connections could enable computation. Stephen Hawking saw a path to a new philosophy of physics based based on a view of the universe as a self-organizing entity. A new scientific paradigm is emerging, presents us with a radically different cosmic narrative. The big idea is that the universe is not just an arbitrary physical system, but something more like an evolving, computational or biological system with properties strikingly similar to a complex adaptive system like an organism or a brain. Listen to this, y'all. Owaspy explaining this in 1882 and giving the pictures. Look, if the characterization turns out to be accurate, I do not think it is an overstatement, to say that it is the most profound paradigm shift in the history of science and philosophy. If true, Owaspy said it in 1882. Remember, Owaspy is a primary for the information it brings out. Science and spirituality just finds it out later that what Owaspy is saying is true. If true, it raises new existential questions that will force us to completely rethink the nature of reality and ideas about whether the universe has a function or a purpose. This is from Big Think, right? Now, to know that the universe has a function or a purpose is what it means to be a faithist. You a realist. That's why I always like to say we the realists. Because to know that the universe has a function that is not random, it's not by chance. To know that the universe has a function or purpose is what it means to be a faith. This is what it means to be in the created game. That's what it means. To know, right, that the universe has purpose. Faith is one who has faith in the Creator being over all and within all to a wise and definite purpose. This is out of the Owaspy glossary. This is what it means to be what I am. One who does not have faith in anything. But the Creator, we see the Creator as the universe. But to understand that all that has a law being governed by one and within all. And that this whole thing, why it works like a clock, why it's mathematical, is that it comes with not only consciousness and intelligence and awareness, but a wise and definite purpose for why it's here. That's why everything works together. Book of Oranothan, or the book of the book of the light of the throne of heaven. That's what Oranothan are like walking orders. It's what the God has to do, right? Oranothan. It's like a job description. It's what you have to do. Okay. Book of Oranothan 1 and 8. It says, first, then his living presence, talking about the Creator. I declare to you that he, the Creator, is now, always was, and ever shall be present in all places, worlds without end. The Great Spirit has a living presence, y'all, meaning it has a conscious presence. And if the Great Spirit's conscious presence pervades the universe, doing by virtue of his presence, this is Owaspi doing by virtue of his presence, quickening into life and moving all things onward to a wise and definite purpose. Remember, the article above said, if true, it raises new existential questions that will force us to completely rethink the nature of reality and ideas about whether the universe has function or purpose. Then I think it's time we go right on ahead and rethink the nature of reality, right? Owaspi, Book of Divinity, 22-23. God said, right? This is not the creator. It's the creator's son, God. This also is the Ormazdian, or the master law, light, the light law. Ormazdian means master light. Ormaz means master light. So this is the master light law, right? Perpetual growth. God, so in a sense, God said, this is the higher law. They'll tell you the higher law is survival of the strongest, survival of the fittest. They'll tell you that's the highest law. No, perpetual growth is the highest law. As a man being brought forth out of what was not an entity, in regards to man being non-existent or void, therefore becoming an entity, this then is brought about by the higher law. So what you saying? What are you saying, Kosmon? Yes, I'm saying you were brought forth from things that were dead. Carbon is dead, doesn't it? It's not alive. You're made from hydrogen. It's not alive. You got a little bit of cadmium in you, a little bit of silver, just a balanced amount of gold. None of it's alive. You were brought forth out of what was not an entity, thereby becoming an entity. This then is brought about by the higher master light law, this with capacity in man for everlasting, with capacity in man for life everlasting, with capacity to acquire knowledge and power forever. This is why you ain't gonna never get next to Creator. This is why you can't see him. It always has to be somebody greater than you, because you're gonna even reach the pinnacle of your own mind one day. You gonna think you the shit one day. And you better have this understanding to be able to tamp that demon down in you. Or you could be the false Christ, or you could be Buddha, or you could be Brahma, or you could be Osiris, or you could be Set, or you could be Isis, dead, useless, with your moldering temples as eyesores to the falsity that at one time you tried to convince man that you were the creator. Now those temples stand there as proof of your falsity. I know they're like an eyesore to your soul. And never, right, with capacity in man for life everlasting, with capacity to acquire knowledge and power forever. and never attain to the Almighty. Like a road on which a man may run in full liberty forever and never come to its end, rejoicing on his journey. This is the higher law, as the actions of corporeal substances produce light. As light is the expression and speech of certain corporeal changes. So is Ormaz, the master light, the creator, that which illuminates the soul of man. This is why I'm telling y'all, if there is a spirit in man, right, and I was trying to prove it, right, it's saying that the spirit illuminates the soul of man. I would say that the body giving off literal physical light while it is alive and then stopping at death is proof that man not only has spirit in its expression, right? Spirit is the expression is light. That's how I would prove it to anybody who was a materialist and couldn't wrap their mind around it. The master light, the creator, that which illuminates the soul of man, making man a conscious. Remember, this is Owaspi's science of consciousness and mind. It is that light in the soul of man, which they mistake as spirit, that makes man conscious that he is, making man express his impressions. This is the higher law that is the ever presence. This is the ever presence that never terminates. Though worlds come into being and go out of being, yet Ormaz, the master light, remains. He is the forever, and within him, all creations are created. This is why we call the creator the universe. That's the part you can see. Key points. We are all within the mind of the Great Spirit, which is the universe, which is the neural network. Moving things onward to a wise and definite purpose. The Great Spirit is within all of us. You ain't got to believe it. All you got to do is that. The Great Spirit is within all of us. As individual members of its person and being. Think like atoms. The Creator created us and all things with intellect, which requires thought, which requires consciousness. This means our Creator is a conscious mind. Book of Judgment 34, 1 and 12. As I made your corporeal body out of corpore, right? Or I made your physical body out of physical things. So out of my light, which is my very self, I built you up in spirit with consciousness that you are. So in likeness of itself, from out of its light, we were built up in its spirit with consciousness. The Great Spirit's light is its very self, which is spirit, which is consciousness. Here's the precept. Book of Thor 4 and 14. The Creator said, do not think, O man, that there is only one member in my person, and that different conditions and states of that one compromise my universe. The foolish man has said the blood is the flesh and bones, and the flesh and bones are simply a state of the blood. But he does not see that I do not make flesh out of blood, but out of that which the blood carries. And in the same way, I carry the corpora, right, or the physical part of my person in the ether of my being, or what they like to call dark matter, or simply, y'all, space. This is why it's see-through. You can see it. It's not, in a sense, purely tangible, right? It's in things and out things all at the same time. But as above, so below, just like ether on Earth tears things or physical things to their atomic weights, so does ether in the heavens. And remember, ether is a solution. So when they're talking about splitting the waters above the waters by the firmament, what water is above the firmament? Y'all didn't know. It was ether. How do we know it's water-like? A solution? What's the number one material in all creation? Hydrogen. But ether is the ROR. This is why they're trying to take it off the atomic. Oh wow! Come on, man. Where they got the breakdown of the chemical bases, periodic table. They're trying to take ether off the periodic table, right? But they can't. They know dark matter exists. They just don't know it see-through. It's transparent. This is why the sky looks black or dark blue. Why? Because there's mostly hydrogen out there. All right. What does it mean to or being? Being is conscious existence, huh? Or life. This is from Merriam-Webster. Quantum physics or mechanics is the microbiology of cosmogony, not cosmology, cosmogony. Let me say it again, because how Owaspie is breaking down the atomic structure, fractals, and the quantum mechanics and physics in 1882, before 12 years. Oh, actually, they found it in 94, proven in 97. So actually 15 years before they ever even found the atom or the electron, at least. Owaspie is already breaking down the quantum structure of the universe and even calls humans atoms. Mind you, there were no atoms. In 1882, the theorized thing that they thought was, or the medium field was called corpuscles. So how is Owaspie breaking down quantum physics and mechanics in 1882? Remember, at the same time, they're trying to debunk James Clerk Maxwell, because he proved that that all sound and energy moves through a medium. That medium is ether. Look, man, I gotta use the bathroom.
I'm still here. I'm listening to everything you're saying, man. I like when you give these late night lessons like this. You're the only person on the channel who be up on a late night. You've done this a few times, and every time. I love it. I think you're a great orator too. So you got the gift of gab for this.
All right, my bad, Joe. I didn't hear what I heard you saying. You were saying something, A1, but I didn't hear what you said when I was going to the bathroom.
I was saying several times you've been the only one up on the late night, and you give these lessons on Owaski, and I think they're all dope. And I said I think you're a great orator. You got the gift of God for this. You make it easy to listen to and understand.
Oh man, all praises to the Creator, man. You did what I'm talking about. I try to do this, A1, because I understand the law of reciprocality. You did what I'm talking about. The more I give, the more I get.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
And I'm really seeking, bro. I'm really seeking. You know what I mean? Y'all gotta read this Owaski, man. Don't let nobody pigeonhole you, dumb you down, or make you believe.
This for sure.
Y'all gotta read this stuff, man. If you got melanin, you gotta read this. Huh? It's your brother talking to you, man. I ain't no sucker, I ain't no buster. Been there, done that, got a t-shirt. Huh? Got a B prefix. Stop playing.
Yeah, man, you almost got me wanting to sign up for Creator Gang right now, man.
Man, listen, man, you gonna come into it on your own. You can't be gang till you be you. You just become gang. You wake up, oh, I was already Creator Gang. I didn't know.
That's deep. I like that.
You dig what I'm talking about? You come into it on your own. What it's gonna be is you're gonna get tired and sick of people who always trying to stab you in the back. Somebody always trying to get down on you. Somebody always trying to, they ain't for the right thing. It's gonna get a time where you get tired of that. Jaja say it's gonna come a time where good people just gotta get away from bad people.
Mm-hmm.
I gave y'all niggas all this experience, all this knowledge. Go out and make this land bloom. Go and inherit them places they don't want. You think you gotta buy this shit? Don't work like that. It's never worked like that. That's why they had to create a whole system to take your land from you. It's not theirs. It's not none of ours. It's for all of us to share. It's a whole new way of the world coming, y'all. Y'all gotta get hip. Because I'm not saying that, like, and we can't just sit here and blame this on government or blame this on white people. You created the government and it works perfectly. You just have terrible people at the top of it running it. They say all good things in the world come from faith. Are you good? That's what make you my people. Got nothing to do with skin color. Got nothing to do with money. Don't got nothing to do with what you know. Are you good? That make you Kosmon, brother. We all got one father. Quantum physics or mechanics is the microbiology of cosmogony. Microbiology is the study of all living organisms that are too small to be visible with the naked eye. This includes bacteria, archaea, viruses, fungi, prions, protozoa, algae, collectively known as microbes, short for microorganisms. These microbes play key roles in nutrient cycling, biodegradation, biodeterioration, climate change, food spoilage, the cause and control of disease, and biotechnology. A quintessential area of science, quantum physics is a term that's recognized by most, but understood by few. Also known as quantum mechanics or quantum theory, the name describes a fundamental branch of physics that explains the nature and behavior. Huh? So again, the nature is the behavior. The nature and behavior of matter and energy. Now, if my brother put matter and energy in with his time and nature, boy, I'm just trying to teach you how to win. You ain't got to take Kosmon advice. But
I don't see what people, well, I do see what people have against it. I just still don't understand why they're doing special pleading, and it's a few other malicious things that they're doing and attacking with your stuff. Honestly,
because they're dummies
better
and they won't read.
Your stuff
They
reads
refuse
better
to read.
than all of the other religious texts that I've encountered. That's one.
A
The only thing that they really have against it is the person who created it. But
And he said he didn't. So how do we deal with the fact that he said he didn't create it? He said, "Look, I'm just a bridge for this, man. I didn't know none of this."
And that's why it's a case of special pleading, which is fallacious. The same evidence that they accept to believe in their stuff, they deny when it comes to your book. They deny that this guy spoke to God and, what's the correct terminology I'm looking for how he transmitted this? Divine, what do they call it? I don't know.
A bunch of different
divine intervention, but
every so-called
when God talks to you, like they're denying that God came and talked to somebody, but they want us to believe them when they tell us God came and talked to somebody.
Made a donkey talk.
On top of making a donkey talk, but they say God came and talked to Moses and had him write these books and
face to face.
But it's over with now. How do y'all know it's over? How do y'all know that the guy who created Owaski didn't have some divine revelation? That's the word I'm looking for, divine revelation.
Well, Owaski say if you can see your God, it's false. So that talking to Moses face to face, talking to Abraham face to face, sat down, ate lamb with the nigga Abraham. That wasn't the creator. That wasn't God. That wasn't the Lord, even though it said it was.
Jacob wrestling with God.
Jacob wrestling with him. Shit, Isaiah seen the nigga with a long train in the temple.
I think their biggest problem be what he said the second. They don't read. They don't even try to read it.
They don't even try to read it.
Of what it's saying.
They're already convinced. I know why. Because they says anything else is BS and don't trust it. So they're going off of that, man.
Oh yeah, because they built that in. That was one of the fail sets they tried to build in. Don't listen to nobody else.
Yeah, that's a perfect word.
Is a lie.
That's a fail safe, yes. And it's what keeps the cults thriving. It's what keeps them alive, which I think Christianity is. And nobody can really deny it. In its inception, it was a cult. It was a small cult and a small group of people who believed in something. And then it continued to grow. They murdered and slaughtered everybody who didn't believe. And so all that was left was believers. And then it didn't even stop there. Then they started attacking other Christians for not believing right. Oh, y'all ain't Christian right. Y'all ain't doing communion, off with your head. Eat this bread and drink this wine, and we about to kill you right now. So after they then whacked off all the pagans and non-believers, then they start attacking each other. Like, all in the name of the Lord, though.
Yep.
Man.
Come on, man. So we gotta, ain't this the same guy that told us thou shalt not kill A1?
Yep. And then right after that, Moses went down that mountain and did what?
Come on.
Slaughtered everybody for worshiping a golden calf. And they'll be like, well, they were. It doesn't matter. He just gave a commandment. And Did he give? He never gave rules for when you're supposed to break it. I didn't see that part. I didn't see the part where he says you're allowed to break these commandments because of this or that. That's not in
It don't say you're not allowed to.
Yeah. But they'll definitely make excuses for him. Whew. I'm glad you were going over this stuff, bro. Like it's at least it just gives me hope. You know what I'm saying? This gives me hope because everything I've read is so disgusting to me.
Oh man,
these homicidal deities and war gods. I can't. I'll never rock with it. And I'm definitely about to read this book. And even if I don't subscribe to it in full, I may start debating it just to have something to put up against the other religious texts.
And then the crazy. Listen, you ain't gotta believe this. I know it sounds crazy, but even though Owaspy is saying some far out stuff, right? It's so far ahead of modern science and the historical narrative. Also, it clears up the historical narrative, right? That primarily anything Owaspy says is already backed by science, but Owaspy said it 40 to 50 to 100 years before anybody said it. Who was talking about fractals or the atomic structure of the universe in 1881? Nobody. There were no fractals. There were no atoms, period, to have an atomic structure or substructure or quantum level. They was just theorizing on the medium still. They hadn't. Heinzel Hertz hasn't even proved the medium yet. That comes 12 years after Owaspy in 1894. Owaspy is talking about pandemics and inoculations and vaccinations before they existed as we know them. You know, they had the early type where you had to rub the disease in a little bit, but I'm talking about the real inoculation, vaccination. Like Owaspy warned us about Rona in April of 2019.
You got to show me that.
Yeah, bro.
And I'm sitting over here thinking, like, if Omar was up here right now, he would be going in on you. But for what? Shalaki. He can't even go into the text to like say Shalaki. But he couldn't even like go into the text to show you like this is wrong or this is false or like that's what I want him to do. He's literally bad. And if I'm wrong, you know, Omar, you know, you can correct me respectfully because I'm respectfully addressing what I see. What I think I see. But I think I see you just beating it up because it isn't what you've already been taught to believe. Like I've never seen you actually come with a valid point of why you don't rock with this, other than a dentist made it up. But it's the same claim that you have about your book. These people got divine revelation from some cosmic zombie in another dimension. So how can you take that away from? You can't take that away from Kosmon if you want us to believe you when you say it.
Yeah, where your book come from? At least I know where mine came from and who wrote it.
I'm about to do a whole episode on this.
Can't say that about Bible. We can't say that about the Quran. We can't say that about the Mahabharata. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He got a bunch of presentations on it too.
Now, I'm going to do a presentation on how the other religions are denying other religions for the same, but they all are presenting the same evidence. So it's like, I don't know. I almost want to say redundant, but that's not the right word. I'm trying to think of a word for this. It's just not coming to my head right now.
I think they're purposely told lies. They're spun just a little bit over man's knowledge, so man would stop asking questions. It wasn't meant for the people in the time where it was written. It was meant to dupe the people 100 years later, 200, 2,000, 3,000 years later. It's written that way. That's why it contradicts itself in most parts. Thou shalt not kill, slay the women, children, and infants. No man has seen God. Isaiah seen the nigga. Abraham talked to him face to face. God is all omnipotent, but he couldn't kick some Canaanites out the hill because they had chariot wheels of iron. There goes omnipotence. He didn't even know where Adam was. There goes omnipresence. He was lost in the garden. So, for the most part, they contradict themselves because different men over different times have been stronger than the God and forced their narrative in the stories. God couldn't even protect his own book. That's why so many different types and denominations. Everyone has its own version of a false Christ. Let that sink in. There's 1,300 denominations. Also
That's
known
a
as
point that I've been making all day, right? When you go over the 1,300 denominations, it's like there's no way that the creator of all thought this was an intelligent way to disseminate his message to the masses.
Exactly.
Look what happened. Like, if he
exactly, and you're right. You're right, A1. He only does one thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is why people came over here when Europeans came over here to America and they heard the Algonquins. They knew they didn't speak Hebrew.
About the 1,300 denominations, how this would not be the most intelligent way to disseminate your message, and this is supposed to be the person who comes up with intelligent design. This was the worst design to disseminate your message,
right?
And it's like,
and that's where I was going with it.
And I'm supposed to be going to hell for not believing, but he created all this confusion and let it run rampant. Come on, man. It would be different if there was only one. Everybody said this is what it was, and if I don't believe, then I can burn. And we got 4,600 active religions being practiced today, and he about to burn me in hell for not listening to Omar?
Right.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not buying
it. And that's where I was going with it. When Europeans came over here, even though we spoke Algonquin languages, not Hebrew or nothing like that, when we got to praising, they noticed that many of the words sounded just like they were Yod, He, Vav.
That's just you.
She just functional.
Yeah, that's my whole thing.
We were saying the same things because what you got to understand is the creator doesn't do one thing in one corner, one thing in another corner, another thing over here, another thing over here. He does one thing. So when they sing the praisers of the Great Spirit from Africa, right?
She's like, share this one.
Against the praisers of the Great Spirit in America, even though they different people, different tongues, it wasn't till they start praising that they said, oh, they look like this, their sound like this. Oh, they saying things like Moses said. Oh, they gotta be some lost tribes of Israelites. That's because the creator doesn't do a whole bunch of different things. He do one thing. and do it well. Right? So to keep that oneness, and then once you get into WASP, you'll see that many times people, they went on migrations and all type of stuff, running from cataclysms and all type of stuff. To understand who people were, they had hand signs, certain ways of walking. You know what I mean? Certain ways of talking. You dig what I'm talking about? Mudras and basically gang signs, right? Because you could tell me you were blood all day, but you go over here talking about coat red, all blue on. You dig what I'm talking about? Talking about keyway this, keyway that. You could tell me you were blood all you want to, but your actions, right? And this is what many of the secret communities behind the scenes knew. They didn't know each other, but they knew the signs. So even the great prophet Capilla of China, you dig what I'm talking about? He basically the Moses of China, of India. When he went on his little journey to get his stuff started, man, the people was like, nigga, we don't know you like that, cousin. Plus, ain't you the whoop-de-wop son? But he was like, well, the spirit told me, you know what I mean? You gonna know if I'm who I am by what I'm doing, by not what I'm saying. Right? He was like, well, then come on here, break it down for me. Dog went in there, he threw up that, you know what I mean? You start gangbanging. He was like, yeah, you one of them. Come on in here, you dig what I'm saying? So they knew who he was by different hidden signs and symbols, right? That's because the creator does one thing everywhere. So you see the 6-point star over in the Middle East, you see it in America. Huh? You see the swastika in India, you see it in America. I'm just saying, that's that oneness, man, that they be talking about, that they be missing, A1, because they always try to pigeonhole and take the creator out of it. They try to take the reality out of it and then wonder why they can't never get it. The realest part in there is the universe. It is the creator. And when you try to take the realest part out of it and still look at it objectively, nigga, you crazy. Look at a subjective thing objectively, nigga, you crazy. And you're wondering why it don't work. Huh? It says, also known as quantum mechanics or quantum theory, the name describes a fundamental branch of physics that explains the nature and behavior of matter and energy at an atomic and subatomic level. Microbes or microorganisms are fundamental living organisms the same way atoms and electrons are fundamental building blocks of the material world. Let that sink in. Huh? Let that sink in. Microbes or microorganisms are fundamental living organisms. Fundamental. The same way atoms and electrons are fundamental building blocks of the material world. Make a lot of sense, don't it? Fundamental. What does fundamental mean? Serving as an original or generating source, primary source. The same way the blood carries microscopic living organisms in the blood that build and sustain the body is the same way ether dark matter, what we know as space. And this is how we know right here that whether you believe in the flat earth or whatever, it don't matter. NASA lied, right? Whether they went to the moon or not, it don't matter. They lied, because either way, the moon is in the Earth's atmosphere. So wouldn't it matter if you went there or not? You ain't in space yet. And I'm telling you, they knew that.
Guess how many pairs shoes do you
And Owaspy is the primary source, the first source in the world for ever. In 1882, it told you that the moon was in Earth's atmosphere. It's called a JEHOVIH Chronicles. Look it up. You dig what I'm talking about? But just like the blood carry microscopic living organisms in the blood that build and sustain the body, it's the same way that space, ether, carries atomic or subatomic particles that build and sustain matter in the universe. This is how a planet is created. Not by Big Bang, Big Spin. Huh? We'll revisit that section in a later presentation. But look, I'm going to go ahead, man. I think I done blew the last of the shizzle bubble. Well, oh, nope, I got a whole bunch of shizzle bubble, but I think we good for the night, y'all. You dig what I'm saying?
Well,
I think we good for the night. Kosmon ain't gonna beat y'all over the head.
Don't let up, Brett.
Do the corporeal part. Just do the introduction to corporeal, so people can know exactly what corporeal is.
You got me over here rocking with Owaspy, man. I'm about to read it so that way I can debate Owaspy against the other religions, because I don't like what they doing.
Yeah,
but I gotta see all the claims in there though, because you just
because debating it as a religion, you know what I mean? You kind of pigeonholing yourself, because it's not a religion. If you say an ideology, I rock with that.
Okay, that's what. Thank you for correcting me on how to.
You know what I mean?
Because
you can totally read Owaspy and not rock with none of it. It's not no sin. You ain't going to hell. Nobody's gonna punish you. You dig what I'm talking about? You can totally not rock with it. And for all you atheist niggas, y'all better read Owaspy. Because remember, you said you just lack belief. I'm saying you got one tad more not your spirit than an infidel. But you got it. Owaspy calls you also a great man. Whew. It's different, ain't it? It's different. You don't know why I call you a great man. I ain't gonna tell you. Read it, punk ass nigga.
Yeah,
anyway.
Y'all must didn't hear me. Why you should have at least introduced them to the corporeal part right there. You was right there on.
Hold on, did I? It didn't share?
Yeah, you were sharing it.
It was sharing.
It was sharing. I'm talking about when you decided to end. I was talking. I was on my phone. I thought y'all could hear me talking. Y'all niggas ain't heard me say nothing. Probably for I don't know how long.
Hold on. Let me. I thought I shared it.
I heard you the first time you told him you should have went over corporeal, and then you went.
Hold on. Let me get up.
It was sharing, but I don't think you went into it. I was thinking you was about to go into that part.
It's sharing on my side. It's in the back.
Hold on, we got to put it back on the screen though.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Add to the stage. There you go. It's back.
Okay.
Go ahead and give us the introduction to that, please. Or give them. I done already started my readings, but I know what corporeal is. But that's that was a concept.
All corporeal substance or all physical substance. Anything that is physical. Now, mind you, atoms are physical. Electrons are physical. Sometimes protons are physical. Photons are physical. Sometimes. You dig what I'm saying? Seen and unseen. All corporeal substance is the great spirit's person, bodily appearance. A quasar, a planet, a star, A1. I'm just bullshit. Now do that. But carbon, phosphorus, potassium, the things you can see, even the things you can't see, but are physical. All corporeal substance is the great spirit's person or bodily appearance. So this is why we call him the universe, or call it the universe. It is the universe. It's just the stuff in it you can see and the stuff in it you can't see, but that's not even the creator. That's just part, right? Because he's in fact the thing behind the motion, the thing behind the energy, the thing behind the sound. He is cause. I think that cause is consciousness. All corporeal substance is the great spirit's person, bodily appearance, much like how our corporeal bodies are a physical representation of our person. I'll go back and I'll read that again. All corporeal substance, all physical substance is the great spirit's or the creator's person, much like how our physical bodies are a physical representation of our person. I hope that makes sense. What is a person? Right? Archaic, right? Bodily appearance. Corporeal. What does corporeal mean? Having or consisting of or relating to a physical material body, such as not spiritual, not immaterial or intangible. What is substantial? What is being? Being is conscious existence or life. What is spirit? Spirit, an animating or vital principle held to give life to physical organisms. Watch this. Owaspi, book of knowledge. We got a book of knowledge. This, then, is the genesis of the cycles, i.e., the first creator and his times, and all the created things from without a beginning. And the creator was the unseen, which is the spirit, and the seen, which is his person and body. So what have we learned thus far? The great spirit created us out of intellect with intellect. The great spirit created us out of intellect with intelligence. Intellect is the power of knowing. Mind is an intellectual ability. Consciousness is associated with mind. To use intellect requires knowing, which requires thought. All of which requires consciousness. Consciousness is a phenomenon of the mind. The great spirit is a thinking, knowing, intellectual, or intelligent, conscious mind. Mind and brain are two different entities, but are interconnected entities, meaning they are one. Mind and consciousness is the unseen entity, which is potent, and the brain is the seen entity, which is impotent. Consciousness is not dependent on the brain, proof being in the existence of conscious jellyfish that has no brain organ, but does have a neural network. As a result, scientists who have studied the behavior of animals and insects admitted they underestimate the neural complexity required for consciousness. The article above says the scientists, like Stephen Hawking, saw a path to a new philosophy of physics based on the view of the universe as a self-organizing entity, thus meaning that it is conscious and aware of itself. The article further says that if true, it raises new existential questions that will force us to completely rethink the nature of reality and ideas about whether the universe has a function or purpose. But over 120 years ago, the Great Spirit, through a Waspy, already made it clear in the book of Oranothan, 31:8. First, then, that his living presence, I declare to you that he is now, always was, and ever shall be present in all places, worlds without end. Don't that sound like a creator to you? Not some nigga who got to come down to a mountain and show his backside to Moses. Not a nigga who don't know where his creation is in the garden he created. Not a creator who sets his people against their own brothers.
And this is why I had to read that. This is why I took interest in the A1. Because when he was telling me all this, we was talking about it, and I told him, I said, the only difference is I came to that same conclusion with the tools that I had. I didn't have the inspiration that the presenter of a Waspy had. It's amazing to me how, you know what I'm saying, when he talk about corporeal and the creator, I understand that he talking about the place where he put the creator is the place where I put existence. The things within existence are the corporeal. That's everything that exists physically that we can see. The thing that we call the unified field, or I call it the Fatimana field, that's where existence is. That, to me, that's the boundary. That's where nothing goes outside, because from what we found, the priority of the word existence would be the place where things come into existence. And that's what it seems to be in the unified field. And like he said, when he told me, like, oh, Waspy touch on stuff like that, I had to go, because I'm just like,
Waspy solved the unified field theory. And it gives us the other half of Einstein's theory of relativity. I know. Listen, you ain't got to believe it, You ain't got to believe it. 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago. He did it again probably about 2 years ago. Daryl Kosmon already debunked the theory of relativity. I know. It sounds crazy. It sounds ill. But not only did he debunk it, he reworked it and then gave the other half.
Because people read it and know exactly what you're talking about when you're saying things, they're going to always get the wrong idea and do just like the pseudo killers do most of the time, just characterize it without even actually knowing what you are actually saying, even with the words that you say and how you put it. That's not when you give a fair assessment to anything that you're talking about and discussing if you're trying to find answers. So that's why I had to give Waspy a spin and start doing my research and reading.
Man, it's powerful, man. Listen, y'all gonna be reaching in there, grabbing stuff. You dig what I'm talking about? Just so Waspy also say, don't try to cherry pick it. Start at the beginning, read it to the end. Because if you, it's some parts in there. I even had to get my own little racism and bias out the way. Right? Because like when people was saying that, that the drugs is black and brown. It do say the drugs is black and brown, but then they don't never read the verse below that.
Which says
that, first of all, the white and yellow people and the black and brown people couldn't be told they couldn't tell them apart physically. So what white and yellow is and brown and black is not, in a sense, just a skin tonal. It's a mold. And then it tells you that even the white and yellow people that they're talking about are not what we call white today, but more like a copper color, like a yellow bone, red bone. That's white. It say that. I had to keep reading. Right? If I'd have stopped right there, bro, you know what I mean? I'd have been stuck in some racist bias mess.
I don't want to read no more.
Tied up with the gods. You dig what I'm talking about? But I had to read. It's right there when they talk about that white and yellow, right there next to it. I know it's 624 in the first book of the Lords. I know right where it's at. They never read that. Right? Druk mean I don't get it. Iron mean I can get it. That's all it means. I got the spiritual acumen to get it, or I don't. There were brown and black ions, brown and black drugs, white and yellow ions, white and yellow drugs. Ion is a behavior. Drug is a behavior. Right? Woman cried out to the Creator and said, well, you know, you telling me to bring forth heirs of light to you. Dig what I'm talking about? Breathe with the people that get it. Right? Well, how am I supposed to know? I can't tell them apart. So that means, guess what? The ions is black, just like if the drugs is black, the ions is black too, because the females can't tell them apart. So guess what happened had to happen 73,000 years ago? Circumcision. That was the only way you could tell them apart. Other than their actions, that's the only way you could tell them apart. That's why circumcision was even created. So you could tell who was who. So the woman could tell who was who. So when they be talking that black, white shit, it's not that. That's just low vibratory race stuff. Right? I'm better than that. So I ain't gonna let you pull me where you at. You know?
Yeah, that would be
so. First, then, his living presence, I declare to you that he is now, always was, and ever shall be present in all places, worlds without end, doing by virtue of his presence. That means this is how you would go to prove a creator that is everything or all things, right? You would show objectively the fact that there is no such thing as nothing. Right? There is no such thing as no thing. Because even in this, doing by virtue of my presence, right? So even when there's no motion, he is there. What is energy unused or called? It's called potential. Even when we can't see it, there's potential energy there. We call them photons, electrons, quarks. They're there though. Right? And you know, Jaja said he put all things in motion. Who knew that? Who knew that in 1882 that everything was in motion? Who knew that? Nobody. And definitely not no white dentist from New York. He was a dentist. Nigga ain't know none of this. Doing by virtue of his presence. This is why things happen. Right? Because he always there. The potential for anything to happen is always there. Huh? Motion, many times through sound creating motion, cymatics, right? The motion creating force creates substance or shape. Huh? When you can see it, it's called corpore. When you can't, still corpore, but they call it quantum. But when it's doing its due, left, right, up, down, whatever, that's nature. Huh? When a vortex spins, it's natural. It's only because he there, the potential is there that anything happens. Quickening into life, all moving, huh? And moving all things onward towards a definite, indefinite purpose. Because we are already in the mind or being or universal neural network of the Great Spirit, right? OWASP, Book of Divinity 1 and 23. Though worlds come into being and go out of being as such, yet the master light, the creator, remains. He is the forever, and within him all creations are created. You know what I mean? I'm going ahead, man. I'm going ahead. I ain't going to keep on whopping y'all boys in the head like that. I don't want to make it seem like I'm being preachy.
Yeah.
I dig what I'm talking about. I do not want to seem like I'm being preachy.
Can you hear me, Kosmon?
But y'all boys, man, hey. Tell it.
Can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I definitely appreciate it. I didn't want to yet because I didn't want to bring this book out right until my first book got out there. But you might as well, man. It's gonna have to get out there anyway. This divine mechanics. So I got to tell everybody what this is before. The prologue said, before Aristotle asked what it means to be, motion and matter were
Shout out my dog Oli. But we spin into divine mechanics after that. You dig what I'm talking about? But your brother was up there cooking. You dig what I'm talking about? With A1 who was sprinkling in with that light and didn't even know he was. You see how truth is all one? When they start to understand the character of their creator, you dig what I'm saying? These things won't even seem like coincidences because you know the pattern. You know what I mean? It's all love and light, man. And if anyone is teaching you a fear-based doctrine or that you must hurt something else to praise it, that's when you got to start to rethink what it is you're praising. You dig what I'm talking about? That's when you may have to rethink that. You know, because it's a lot going on, and it's been a lot going on. Right? It's been a lot going on. With that being said, right, let's get into this synopsis of the 16 cycles. There's a lot going on, you know. We just bringing it all to the light. Love, light, balance. Y'all breathe in, let that light in.
16 cycles, the story unfolds from light into darkness, as heaven foretold. God rose and labored, the harvest was stored, all from the records of JEHOVIH, the Lord. The earth spins around in a circuit of time. 4 arcs of the seasons, the circle's design. 3,000 years in a cycle complete. JEHOVIH's angels guiding mortals' feet. First came Sethens, the first God's name. Raised up the brides for JEHOVIH's flame. Then a shone followed with hosts on high. Harvests and billions beneath the sky. Who leads Sifa Ivan and more took their turn. Each left a record for mortals to learn. Civilization rose, the cities grew vast. Books, ships, and temples, but none would last. For though they had wisdom, they fell once more. Cycles repeating from shore to shore. 16 cycles, the story unfolds from light into darkness, as heaven foretold. God rose and labored, the harvest was stored, all from the records of JEHOVIH, the Lord. The Ahens walk gentle, a spiritual race. Peace in their dwelling, JEHOVIH's grace. But the ground men rose with flesh as they crave. Drugs mixed in, and the Ahones were made. Civilizations flourished and faded away. Man fell to beasts in a single day. Generations shortened, disease took hold. Cannibals roam where the prophets told. Neph cried out, the earth is in pain. 30,000 million spirits in chains. Darkness thick and the prayers unheard. JEHOVIH waited, restraining his word. Cycles of labor, harvest declined. Angels and mortals lost in kind, till JEHOVIH spake from Ethiopian height, calling his chiefs to set the world right. 16 cycles, story unfolds from light into darkness, as heaven foretold. God rose and labored, the harvest was stored, all from the records of JEHOVIH, the Lord. Council assembled in Sanaya's land. Millions of chiefs at JEHOVIH's hand. 16 redemptions, yet darkness remained. Too prolific the earth, her people profaned. Wagga the stronghold, Druze filled skies. JEHOVIH decreed the continent dies. Build ships, oh faithful, wherever you stand. For my flood shall cover the face of the land. The plains of Ogi, the temples of Ku. Cities of men swallowed under the blue. Streams of millions, the waters rise. Mortals descending, angels cry. Yet I rescue the lost in Aegean seas. Assign them teachers, bring them peace. The vineyard pruned, the cycles reset. JEHOVIH's word, remember, don't forget. 16 cycles, story unfolds from light into darkness, as heaven foretold. God rose and labored, the harvest was stored, all from the records of Jehovah, the Lord. 16 cycles, the story unfolds from light into darkness, as heaven foretold. God rose and labored, the harvest was stored, all from the records of Jehovah, the Lord.
You're shopping with blinders on. It's a meat gold mine over there. Premium cuts, without the premium cost. Grass-fed.
Something new in every aisle. It's an Aldi thing.
The J, the E, the H, the O, the V, the I, the H, Jehovah. The J, the E, the H, the O. Say it clear. The V, the I, the H, Jehovah. The J, the E, the H, the O, the V, the I, the H, Jehovah. The J, the E, the H, the O. Say it clear. The V, the I, the H, Jehovah. This ain't hype. This here instruction, not a brand name faith, no man's production. The name before the ink set rules in stone. Low spoken truth still moves the zone. Not a man, not flesh, not a king on a throne. The all knowing, all light, all breath, all tone. No image carved from, no figure was framed. Just force and effect when the source ain't named. Felt it. You don't chant the name for power or clout. You say it when you're lost and finding your way out. Every soul got a path and a pace to keep. Jehovah ain't rushed and gave you space to breathe. I'm not preaching a gospel, just speaking the facts, giving food for the soul to every seat in the mass. See the name out loud, let the meaning connect. Jehovah, the creator, the source and effect. Bless. The J, the E, the H, the O, the V, the I, the H, Jehovah. The J, the E, the H, the O. Say it clear. The V, the I, the H, Jehovah. No middleman needed, no golden gate, no fear-based obedience, fate on your plate. Ooh. You live right, create definite light, and reassess the journey so the path is right. Do it. Seen belief get twisted for dollar control, where priests extract life from a tolerant soul. Drain it. Truth ain't loud, but it sure got to glow. It's settling slow, digs in and takes hold. Growth over punishment, vision over sudden shifts, might over stubbornness, sight over muddiness. The body keeps record of the race you ran, and death removes the mask from the face of man. Reveal creator don't need you to come home clean. Only honest with yourself, cause you know where you been. You know the J, the E, the H, the O, the V, the I, the H, Jehovah. The J, the E, the H, the O. Say it clear. The V, the I, the H, Jehovah. Ain't no halo earn off a straight convergence. You build up your grade through the weight of service. Every day got attested, you passed the recent. A rebel in the seasons of your past deceivings. Don't stay there. No claps for the works that nobody saw. No credit given back from the cosmic law. Time won't pause for intention stalled. Recording what you chose when your name was called. Faith stays quiet, but it executes, revealing itself when the pressure moves. So insight fades if it stays in the mind. The base is always laid where the steps would align. So stand on it firm when the lights go dim. Let the lessons and words settle deep within. Let it sink. Name ain't power without self-refinement. Jehovah in the will when the soul's in alignment. That's when the J, the E, the H, the O, the V, the I, the H, Jehovah. The J, the E, the H, the O. Say it clear. The V, the I, the H, Jehovah. Jehovah. The V, the E, the H, the O. Say it clear. The V, the I, the H, Jehovah. Jehovah. Jehovah.
Yeah, the game coming, creator king coming. Turning up the light and watch the boys start running. Let me tell you something, we ain't out here doing nothing. I can tell you scared, boy, niggas stop fronting. It was all in the plan.
What is the difference between a god, goddess, and a lord?
In Jehovah's great creation, every soul has a place in the unfolding harmony of light. But what is the true difference between a god, a goddess, and a lord in the spiritual hierarchy revealed in Oaspe? A god or goddess in Oaspe is a high-ranking soul appointed by JEHOVIH to oversee an entire division of the atmosphere and heavens or parts of the earth during a Danha cycle. They govern vast spiritual dominions, lead resurrection efforts, educate billions of souls, and establish divine order and peace. Their office is both sacred and temporary, and they are held accountable to the light. A lord, while also a being of great advancement, serves a more localized role. Lords are appointed beneath the god or goddess to oversee specific divisions, such as a continent, a nation, or certain tribes of people. Lords guide, teach, and uplift within a more focused region of earth and its corresponding spiritual plane. They often work directly with mortals and Esians, and they are deeply connected to humanity's cultural and spiritual development. Gods and goddesses hold greater responsibility and govern larger spheres. Lords serve under their direction, fulfilling important missions within smaller fields. But both are equal in devotion, both are sacred in service, and both rise through light, love, and surrender to JEHOVIH's will. In Uspe's heavenly order, the question is not who is higher, but who serves more fully in the light. A lord may one day become a god. A god may return again as a lord. All rise and descend through cycles, each fulfilling their sacred part in the celestial symphony of JEHOVIH's will.
Yeah, the game coming, creator king coming. Turning up the light and watching boys start running. Let me tell you something, we ain't out here doing nothing. I can tell you scared, boy, niggas stop fronting. It was all in the plan.
Satin Media Detroit presents Legends Detroit, featuring Big Herc, Miss Corona, and DJ Los, along with Good Money G100, with sounds by DJ Trick Trick and DJ Scarface. Also performing, we got Woodman the Star and E-Rock the Ghetto Poet, along with Pull Up Gang Money Gang. It's going down July 17th at Club 54 in Sterling Heights, located at 37722 Van Dyke in Sterling Heights. Doors open up at 7 p.m. Tickets available at eventbrite.com/LegendsDetroit. $25 online and slightly higher at the door. It's Legends Detroit going down at Club 54.
Creative gang is crazy. Boy, y'all better pay attention.
We fight as a single, impenetrable unit. That is the source of our strength.
JEHOVIH, symmetry sung, heard his word, and the world begun. Motion one, devotion sprung, JEHOVIH reigns for the chosen, the only one. The book of JEHOVIH, symmetry sung, heard his word, and the world begun. Motion one, devotion sprung, JEHOVIH reigns for the chosen, the only one.
Before the earth took shape, new sound of sight, the creator sliced the time in the day and night. He breathed through void till the ether stirred, then sent angels and prophets to teach his word. Motion,
notion, devotion aligned, encoded design in the spine of time. Wind wrote signs on the breath of the prime, S intertwined with the flesh of the line.
Quicken the killer, conceiver entwined, dual divine, the ether confined, two entities birthed, corporate S, life compressed in the vortex nest, spirit in the mist, physics resist. Matter persist in JEHOVIH's fist. Dust kiss flame, clay became twist. Anatomy gift from the infinite list. Male and female named through air. EOE, that sacred blare, not beast, not star. Not anywhere but the whisper of wind as a builder's prayer. Vortex speak, the sequence hum, the life resume. From void to bloom, to eat the groom, creation's womb. Every tune in the flames plume, a living rune. If your soul need food, here's what you consume.
The book of JEHOVIH, symmetry sung, heard his word and the world begun. Motion one, devotion sprung. Jehovah reigns for the chosen, the only one. The book of Jehovah, symmetry sung. Heard his word and the world begun. Motion one, devotion sprung. Jehovah reigns for the chosen, the only one. 3 states of worlds I made, corporeal terrain, an atmosphere and chain to Etherian planes. Ether the pure, obscure domain. The ghost of light, free the soul from shame. Atmosphere, field and flow. AGA, nebula glow. Currents collide where the comets go. Gravity bend with the vortices, so sound became law. Law gave sight, and every soul aligned in Jehovah's light. His love gave reason, and the heart retuned. If your body need rest, here's the text to consume. The book of Jehovah, symmetry sung. Heard his word, and the world begun. Motion one, devotion sprung. Jehovah reigns for the chosen, the only one. The book of Jehovah, symmetry sung. Heard his word, and the world begun. Motion one, devotion sprung. Jehovah reigns for the chosen, the only one. Before the clay inhaled the spark, the plan was grand. See moose spun pulse through the dust of man. Ether expand to where the blueprint ran. Spirit tied to flesh by Jehovah's hand. Angels descended, intelligent, warm. Walked with Azu where the light was born. Heaven breathed with immortal form. Lord met love and the veil was torn. A seed took root in the coil's perfume. Sense evolved under the sun and the moon. Time broke the sleep of a deep commune. And now man learns pattern from teeth to spoon. From breath to balance, the most high drop clues. From speech and sequence, the spirit world moved. From page to prophecy through mahogany hues. If your mind need peace, here's the key to consume.